Hi everybody, I'm Ryan, and today we're going to talk about how to sideboard with Boros Mice in Standard. Now this guide isn't going to talk about the deck as a whole. I did a deck tag that was posted like a week ago or so you should check that out if you want that. This is going to focus entirely on the sideboard and how to sideboard against the top 10 most popular decks in Standard. Let's do it. This is the Boros Mice deck, and let's talk about these sideboard cards. Destroy Evil is our enchantment hate, also decent against cards like Shieldred and stuff like that. Lithiumanic Barrage, great against blue and white decks, frankly. Torch the Tower is good against our aggro decks, also really good against the enduring cards and Emberheart Challenger and stuff like that. Screaming Nemesis is what we want against decks that are looking to block us. Witchstalker Frenzy, again, great against decks that are looking to block. And then Sunspine Lynx is against decks that are greedy with their mana, or are looking to gain life, really. The most popular deck in Standard is Esper Self Bounce. Against this deck, we're going to be siding in our Lithiumanic Barrages, our Sunspine Lynxes, and I'm a fan of Torch the Tower as well. There's an argument for Destroy Evil just so they can't bounce their enchantments, but I think that's just interacting too much, and we should just be trying to defeat our opponent as fast as possible. Gonna be siding out of Screaming Nemesis. It's just a lot of mana to keep bouncing back to our hand, and they really aren't looking to block our creatures per se. Gonna be siding out of Shelter by Ghosts. It's just too easy for them to answer, and we're gonna be siding out of Mabel just because we can't really rely on too many synergies. Mabel's 3 mana, so a similar reason to Screaming Nemesis, and I'm just trying to defeat them as literally fast as possible. So this is how I'm gonna sideboard against Esper Pixie. The second most popular deck is the Gruul aggro deck. Against Gruul aggro, Torch the Tower is excellent. Screaming Nemesis is really good because they're looking to block, or really lets us block super profitably. And then Witchstalker Frenzy is good because it rewards us for continuing to attack. We're going to sideboard out of our Hired Claw. Really focusing on these synergies with Manifold Mouse and whatnot. Mabel is just a lot of mana for something that is not super-duper fast, which we need to be super-duper fast against this deck. I'm going to side out of some Firepush Swordmaster. They have a lot of removal, so going really wide is a little unrealistic, but we're keeping some in. So this is how I sideboard against Gruul. Against Dimir Self Bounce, we're bringing in these Lithiumanic Barrages, the Torch the Towers, and then we're bringing out the Sheltered by Ghosts just because they can so easily answer this stuff, especially with nowhere to run in their deck. But this is how I sideboard against Dimir Self Bounce. The fourth most popular deck is Golgari Midrange. Against Golgari, we're bringing in these Destroy Evils because it answers Preacher of the Schism, Sentinel, Shieldred, the Demon if they play it. Just answers so many cards in the deck. Similarly, I like Witchstalker Frenzy to get that stuff out of the way. Now, there's a few cards we kind of have to bring out because they're bad. Sheltered by Ghosts is just too bad because they can answer it so easily, and Monstrous Rage, they can like kill in response super easily as well. So while we want to bring out Screaming Nemesis, we kind of have to bring 2 more in just as more threats because these cards have to come out. And so this is how I'm going to sideboard against Golgari. The fifth most popular deck is Dimir Midrange. Against Dimir Mid, we're bringing in Torch the Towers. Answering Enduring Curiosity, I think, is super important still. Witchstalker Frenzy is really solid as well. Destroy Evil could be good if something like Oil Deep Gear Hulk becomes really popular. I'm not quite sure yet, so I'm not going to bring it in. We're bringing out these Screaming Nemesis and a few Sheltered by Ghosts, and that's how I'm going to sideboard against Dimir. The sixth most popular deck is the Gruul Prowess deck. We're going to sideboard the same as we did against Gruul Aggro. They're really similar. The Gruul Prowess deck just leans a little bit heavier on like Slickshot Show Off and Questing Druid and stuff. The seventh most popular deck is Domain. Against Domain, Destroy Evil is insane. They have a ton of enchantments and creatures that we can take out with Destroy Evil. Similar to Witchstalker Frenzy, and Sunspine Lynx is built for beating Domain, to be totally real. Bringing out Screaming Nemesis just because they have too many answers. Similar with Sheltered by Ghosts. Lightning Helix doesn't really do much, and then we're going to shave on Burst Lightning because, again, besides Burning Face, doesn't really do much. But this is how I'm going to sideboard against the Zur Domain deck. The eighth most popular deck is Jeskai Convoke. Against Jeskai Convoke, we love these Lithiumanic Barrages. We love Torch the Tower. We love Screaming Nemesis because it makes things just very hard to block. And we're going to be siding out of the Shard Mage's Rescue because they don't have a ton of removal. Postboard, they bring in 4 Torch the Tower, which is a lot, but I'm not a big fan of Shard Mage's Rescue. I just want to be playing my creatures as fast as possible. Going to shave on some Hired Claw And then we're going to shave one Mabel, since I'm a sideboard against Jeskai Convoke. Against Mono Red, we're going to sideboard the same as we did against Gruul, the Gruul variants as well, which is the 9th most popular deck. And then the 10th most popular deck is Azorius Tempo, the Azorius Oculus deck. Destroy Evil is just nuts against this deck. Maybe. Magic Online. You can do it. There we go. All right. Destroy Evil is just nuts against this deck. Same thing with Lithomanic Barrage. And I'm actually a fan of Screaming Nemesis because their things are so big, it's just so awkward for them to block. That being said, Lightning Helix does effectively nothing. We're going to shave on Higher Claw. That's our flex slot. Burst Lightning eliminates nothing unless we just spend a million mana on it to take out a Hadijin. So I'm going to sideboard against Azorius Oculus. But there you go, how to sideboard against the top 10 most popular decks in Standard with the Boros Mice deck. If you like this video, please be sure to like and subscribe. Check me out on social medias. Links are above me and in the description. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.